up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to ShutlipsTV. I'm Olamide Salau, better picking me better. According to the World Health Organization, one doctor to 600 patients is the ideal and the best doctor to patient ratio ever. But from reports by the Nigerian Health Watch and NOI poll, it shows that Nigeria has a deficit of trained medical doctors and it needs about 237,000 doctors to ensure that the population's healthcare needs are adequately catered for. Nigeria already has a shortage of medical doctors due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's showing currently that one doctor to 5,000 patients is currently what is happening in Nigeria, and even those doctors are not well paid. Well, estimation has it that not fewer than 2,000 doctors migrate or leave the country yearly, and not counting the 8,983 doctors that are currently working with the British Health Service in the United Kingdom. With all these figures, it's quite surprising that the Minister of Health, Osage Enaire, still saying that Nigeria has enough medical doctors in the country and the federal government will replace any doctor that resign and to migrate to other countries. Well, on the street, we're going to be asking Nigerians, do you believe that there are indeed a large number of doctors in the country? And also, we're going to be asking them, how does the large migration of doctors out of Nigeria, have an impact on the country's economy and on the country generally? Let's do what Nigerians have to say on the questions of today. Let's do this. The Minister of Health recently reported that there are enough doctors in this country, and he said that any doctor that resign, they'll replace them. Well, personally, do you think we have enough doctors in this country?
I think the best doctors actually live in the country. And so we do not have enough doctors. Even if we have enough doctors, we do not have a better health system that could cater for the needs of many Nigerians. And if you go to most hospitals, they don't have, they don't have power to do operations, and there are not enough doctors. The ones that are there, in fact, the ones that are in medical school, they are just looking forward to just finish and japa. So I think the health minister that comment is quite insensitive.
Really, from my own point of view, I discovered that there is not enough number of doctors, medical practitioners in the country, because compared to the number of patients we have per ward, because we should have at least 1 to 20, a doctor to about 20 patients for administer. And we discovered in our most of the medical facilities that we either federal or state, we discovered that the number of doctors we have to the number of patients is very small. The ratio is very small, and that's why we have this kind of high rate of immortality. Even at times in terms of childbirth, discovered that at times most of these people will like to go to healthcare or a maternity home instead of go to because discover that they may not be attended to very well, and even the few one they have is very expensive. Now most of these things should be free for at least for 5 years below, but now the amount of money they spend on this thing is very high. So some of them will prefer doing self-medication from themselves because of the high cost of medical treatment in these our hospitals. So to my own point of view, the government should be able to do more, to be able to encourage them so that our doctors will not have the intention of going outside the country for greener pastures.
Yes, there is enough medical doctors in Nigeria. Even some of them are underemployed because it's only people that work with the government that they are fulfilled as a doctor. Some of them work with private hospitals, and they are not well fulfilled, so they are underemployed. So most of them, the best way for them to survive is for them to go outside the country. But if you look at the Nigeria generally, you discover that most universities every year they produce medical students, and these medical students they are doctors, and we have over 100 universities in Nigeria. So there is no way we can have short supplies of doctors because every year most they graduated every year on yearly basis. So every year Nigerian is they are producing doctors and doctors. The only challenge is that you will not have experienced doctors. It's only the experienced one that will be in short supply. But the new ones, the younger ones, they are producing them on daily basis. Well, and it is very sad that they are leaving the country because the government is training them in the university for free. And when they go to other countries, they will be of benefit to other country. But for you to be a medical doctor in other country, you have to pay tuition fee on a high side. But in Nigeria, it is free. So the government is losing by allowing them to go out of the country. So the best bet is that these doctors, there is a way they can put them to, harmonize them in such a way that even if you are a medical student, for you to even leave the country, you must sign a bond because they are training you for free because they are not paying any tuition fee. If you are in the federal university, but in this private university, you have to pay a lot of money. But in federal university, it is free. So even if you are a medical doctor, even if the government want to make to curtail them from traveling out of the country, there is a way they can do it. That if you are a medical doctor and we are training you for free, at least you must work for a certain period of years before you can say you are going out of the country.
Well, to me, all those they are saying is just propaganda. We don't have enough doctors. If we do, okay, where are they accessing their own medical facilities? They're not outside the country. And so then the doctors that are not taken care of in Nigeria, that are exiting the shore of Nigeria for another country, which we will discover, which we call a brain drain. Now, how do they make up? And the ones we have presently, can they make up for the populations we have? So it's a total fallacy. So to me, the minister is just trying to protect his job.
Yeah, I think we have more than enough. The issue we have is that the government has not been able to create employment, and even those that are currently working earn little or nothing compared to their contemporaries abroad. So by the time you put the both of them at par, you realize that there's no future for Nigerians doctor presently working here compared to the remunerations they get abroad.
For me, I don't think we have because in our general hospitals, when you get there, you see one doctor attending to more than 20 personnel at a time. So we don't have because if we have at least one doctor should a patient should be to a doctor exactly, or even maybe a patient should be like for two doctors. But in Nigeria situation, I don't think we have.
I do not think so. I mean, statistics is everywhere. I remember seeing a newspaper article about the doctor, the CMD of last week, talking about how he signs resignation letter for at least two nurses or two doctors in a day because everybody's relocating. So obviously, the percentage of doctors we have to the Nigerian population is most definitely not enough. I don't know where he got his facts from. It's not enough, and they need to do better.
Now, let's just take a kind of a random statistics. You have more than 200 million Nigerians, and then you have approximately 200 doctors. Then what's the ratio? How many citizens are actually entitled to see a qualified doctor? Now, having doctor and having qualified and competent doctors are two different things. So if we say we have 200 doctors, how many of them are competent? How many of them actually know what they are doing? And then, okay, for the few ones that are competent, there's a massive brain drain out of the economy. That's a massive exodus of competent health workers, not only doctors. We see nurses, healthcare providers, pharmacists, and all medical lab science and all that. So it's a big issue. It's actually a big issue. And because we are very poor in terms of, in this country, in this part of the world, we are very poor in terms of keeping records. Most of our records are just cooked up. They are almost just near guess. I believe that the actual records will be much more than this. So it's actually an issue, and I pray that the health system of the country does not actually collapse totally. Because if you have a country where doctors are going on strike, you can't just imagine that. If you have, it's like saying you go to the hospital and then there's no one to attend to you and people are dying. Now, what's the life expectancy of an average Lagosian? Last time I checked, I think it was around 47. So you look at all these records and then nobody is doing anything. This is not an issue to the present dispensation, the present government. So when will they act? When will they act?
I think we do not have enough medical personnel to be able to handle Nigerians when they are ill or something because the checking at our population now, people give birth every day, people fall ill every day. And if a number of people are leaving the country, how many people do you think they can be able to handle? One person cannot handle about 10 persons. Even in a day, we are humans. They can break down. So that's why we actually need we actually need more personnel. So if there's anything the government can do to make the health system better so they can stay, it should be done.
Nope.
Okay, why do you say so?
Because first of all, we don't even have enough medical equipment in Nigeria. So every day doctors leave and we have, like I say, we have the population increases while we have decreasing number of doctors. So we don't have enough doctors.
Don't have enough at all. You know, even when you say 2,000 doctors leaving the country every year, it's understatement. It's more than that, maybe triple. The remunerations and conditions of work for them, it's not palatable at all. So they go for greener pastures, and nobody can blame them for that. Yes.
Currently, I do not think so. I don't think we do. Well, as you earlier said, the number of doctors living in the country now for greener pastures has been on like a very increased spike. Yes, there's been a very increasing ratio of doctors leaving the country, of course, for greener pastures, because of how how the economy is at the moment, how Nigeria is at the moment. So it just goes to show that there aren't a lot of doctors now in the country. Yeah.
As far as Nigerian is concerned, we don't have enough because oftentimes most of our doctors are traveling out due to the salary, due to the payment. They are not satisfied with the payment that the Nigerian is offering them. And as far as I'm concerned, if I happen to be a doctor and I have a better offer, I will check out. I will check out, definitely check out, due to the payment. Because let us be I'm earning 500,000, and I see someone that will be paying me 1.5. Why will I stay there? I have to check out. But I think that's one of the major reasons that make our doctors to be leaving this country.
No, we don't. Considering the ratio of doctor to patients, about 1 to 5,000, 1 doctor to 5,000 patients, that is not enough. That is far from being enough. And if something is not done urgently, not just the health sector, IT, the banking sector, oil and gas, we are being brain drained daily. People are leaving the country, jackmine, so to speak. So I think it's something we really need to look into, and it needs our utmost attention.
Of course, we have, because most of them who just finish university or like a UNILAC, most of them that they finish there, some of them they don't get job, roaming about seeking for where they are going to work, in which they haven't seen, because the country is not working very well. If they work very well, in many hospitals, in many places, they can see people, they will employ them there, and they will be working there in order to make money.
Most doctors are traveling abroad because they want to greener pastures. Fine. Now, for instance, you replace a doctor who is professional in the field, and then you bring in a doctor from med school. Definitely, doctors from med school do what we call housemanship, right? After the housemanship, you can start practicing alone. Now, for instance, if the entire doctors have left, for instance, now a doctor who does a housemanship, how does he do surgery on his own? You don't look at that part. So we might be having casualties, but because you sign a form, a consent form, in case anything happens when you perform a surgery to a patient, and you're not held accountable. So you own the patient. Whatever happens, nothing's gonna happen in case of in the case of death. Now so we have issues like that, but then we have recurring decimals like that. That keeps happening. Now let's look at it on the other side. This same doctor, if he happens to be a professional now, he will likely travel abroad as well. So what is he trying to tell us? Absolutely nothing. He's just talking. The reality is that fix your health system, make it good. The hazard allowance for doctors is very poor. We know that. Fix the health system. That's all. Your doctors will stay here and work. For instance, you have 10 kids, for instance, or 6 children. Then you had an offer to go. You had professional exams in the UK and you passed, and then you have a job over there waiting for you. You have the opportunity to go with your children. And mind you, educational wise, you're not going to pay a dime for their education. They will be well taken care of. So you tell me our women back in Nigeria? Hell no. Hell no. We know that. So he's just saying, because for me, I was like, let's remove him from government now, the same doctor now, the same minister of health. Let's take him off the current government, take him off as a minister, take him off as someone who is working with the government, as an ordinary doctor. He will give you a different view. This same thing, he will give you a different view. That's the reality.
But how do you think the large migration of doctors to other Western countries would affect our own country?
It's going to actually affect us negatively because the best science that would have treated those that can't actually leave the country will be left with those that are actually just, I mean, not too good. And even if they are ones that they are ones that are good, they will be actually under pressure trying to meet up a lot of cases because there will be few of them trying to meet up several medical cases. That's just it.
Really, with the migration, now if you look at the number of people migrating, if you look at the age range is between 21 and 50, and that's the labor force of any country. So any country that wants to strive in the economic world must be able to keep their talent. But because of this migration of 18, most of the countries that our fellow Nigerians have gone to, they make use of their assets, their mental facility to work for them. So if we can keep them, it's going to boost our economy. But if not, the other way around will happen to our economy, which is downsizing that we are seeing. And you can look at the rate of inflation and other low of GDP that we experience in our Nigerian economy.
The level of awareness is very, very high. Unlike before, people are medically aware, people are health conscious now. It's affecting people, especially in the rural area, because in the rural areas, most of them are not educated, so they don't know what to do. And even the doctors that we have in Nigeria, some of them are not even interested in working in the rural area. So the impact will be much on the rural area than in the urban center, because most people in the urban center, they are well educated and they are learned. From social media, they can learn how to put their head together. But those in the rural area, they don't have that kind of facility. So the disadvantage is that people in the rural area will suffer more from this effect of these medical doctors.
It ought to have a positive impact, but it's still having a negative effect presently. The positive should have been that if all things were done appropriately, we should be exporting these doctors and they should be giving us foreign exchange. You understand now? But the way the doctors are exiting, some of them are just finding their levels. So it is without the knowledge, or let me say the approval of the government, that would have been making money, the government making money via this exit. So it's having negative impact presently. So, but it should have positive. Because like we have countries like Brazil exporting footballers and then it's adding to their GDP. So if we have mammoth of doctors in Nigeria, undermining that we don't have enough to take care of the present population, then we should be able to make money from those ones finding their level. So, but presently it's having negative. Because when you get to the hospital now, you discover that you only have in a big medical facility, especially government-owned hospital, you only have one doctor attending. The same doctor is the obstetrician, is the gynecologist, the same doctor that is the one that will be doing surgery and some other things. So it's really having negative impact. So if the government knowing what to do, which only that they are shying away from their responsibility, make adequate provisions for our doctors, retain our doctors, the excess can be exported for a meaningful impact.
Well, we don't even have the facility to accommodate them. If they go there, they are going to master their trade. They have all the facilities there. They're going to increase their knowledge base because we are lacking in virtually all the departments. You roll them out from school. They don't continuously upgrade themselves, because abroad at one stage you complete upgrade yourself, but you just get out of school here and there's no facility. So going there, it will give them opportunity to get acquainted to maybe facilities that they are not used to. So they can repatriate such knowledge and knowledge back to Nigeria. They can use it to increase their service here.
It's really affecting us because our health system is getting poorer every day. No instrument. My father died because of lack of instrument. So immediately we got to the first hospital, they rejected him. We went to the second hospital. When we got to the third one, no instrument, and he gave up. And the doctors, in fact, currently my cousin actually left Nigeria because of this. Yeah, he's a doctor also.
Presently, even before the whole issue of people relocating and all, there have been cases where, okay, there's a particular field of, oh, we need a radiologist or something. I mean, not exactly a radiologist, and you find out that you only have 2 in Lagos or something. And now that a whole lot of people are leaving, it means that you won't even be able to get proper healthcare here until you travel abroad. And I mean, how many people can afford that? So that's like a very, very big issue. And I mean, there's also the economic value. Everybody has some sort of value that they bring to the economy. So it's a big problem.
You know, the economic situation of Nigeria now, looking at the healthcare sector, it calls for a state of emergency. So if we are not calling for a state of emergency to rescue what is ongoing, it's like the government spends millions and billions in education, and then other countries just come and pick our best. And then what's the give back to the society? So it's actually a big challenge. And whatever the Minister of Health says and all of that, is just, he knows the truth. So he's just playing around. I know these people are playing games. These are mind games and all of that. They come to office, they go to these countries, they know how things work, but they come and then play very cheap to the galleries with misleading figures. So that's just the scenario we find ourselves.
It definitely affects us a lot because people that cannot afford the healthcare system overseas, it can lead to a lot of mortality rates, like deaths, people dying. It can also lead to the fact that, okay, people cannot afford this thing, so they refuse. The reason why most people refuse to go to hospitals for treatment is because they do not have the money to be able to cover up their bills. So this can actually lead to a lot of mortality rates.
It's affecting us in different sectors, both the economy, everything. But let's say we are talking about the health sector now. The health sector is decreasing because you go to one hospital, so you go to the hospital now, you see only one doctor. One doctor can attend to like 4, or let me even say, because like 4 or 5 persons as a hand. So it's very affecting because you, like I say, even though he's doing it, you will not do it perfectly because you'll be rushing 1, 2, so it's not.
It's affecting Nigeria seriously because when you take a trip to the rural areas and see how people are suffering, you go to the clinics, the hospitals, you don't see any doctors consulting. They are not on duty because they are nowhere to be found. They have all migrated.
To not be so negative, but of course, I think the negative word still have to come into play. It's going to impact it negatively, the economy. Yeah? Health is one of the very important sectors in this country. It adds to GDP and everything. Yes, so when doctors leave the country, it affects the economy negatively.
It really have an impact. That is the negative impact. Yeah, because as they are moving out of this country, the positive impact that is supposed to be having in this country, are you getting what I'm trying to say now? The positive impact that they're supposed to be having, because those doctors over there, I'm very sure our own doctor here, they even know better than them. So as they are living here, is having a negative impact in our own side. Are you getting it now? So that is what I can say about that.
We have the case of Okoyemadu, for instance. If Nigeria is good, do you think his child will be in the UK? Of course no. So I don't know why people will just wake up one day and make some certain statement and they feel like it's okay because we Nigerians have tolerated enough from these people. That's why. That's the way I see it. You go in the UK or America, you go to America or the UK, you see good health system. You send your children abroad. They have a good education. Back here, you empower. You can't even apply any of those things you've seen across the other side of the world into your own system to see how to better your country. and then you're thinking of saying, you just woke up one day and say, if the whole doctors are moving abroad, it's fine, Nigerians can replace them. No, it's not possible. It's not. He knows it's not possible. Even if it's possible, the same doctors will go abroad as well. So what are we doing? It's just a recurring decimal. We're just in one spot, circulating just around like that. It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense. That's just my point.
There you have it. You've heard from the mouths of Nigerians, and practically every one of them are saying that no, there's not enough doctor to treat the population of Nigeria. I mean, looking at it, we have over 200 million Nigerians, and you are telling me that we have enough doctors. Where is the Minister of Health getting their statistic from? Because definitely they're not checking the right, and probably they don't even know what they are saying. Because brain drain is not just happening in the medical line, also the technology line, the banking sector, the economy, the agriculture, basically all the sector of Nigeria is experiencing a huge impact of brain drain. And we hope that currently this administration are lost on what to do. Maybe that's why they are just giving us yes say and just saying whatever it is they like. We hope the next administrations have better solutions to this. And also, we implore you to also make the right decision. Come 2023, vote for the right people. Because if not, it seems that the country called Nigeria is on the verge of collapsing. So it is our responsibility to do the right thing. Thank you for watching all our videos. We'll push the question to you too. Do you think we have enough doctors in Nigeria? Drop your answer for us in the comment section. We'd like to hear from you. Thank you for watching all our videos. To get more interesting content like this, do not forget to subscribe and also follow us on our various socials, Facebook and Instagram at ShutlipsTV. Also, we have an anonymous website where you can go to share your real life experiences and connect with people who have been in similar situations like yourself. Just go to www.shutlips.com. Sign up to the platform is completely easy and 100% free. This is ShutlipsTV. I am Olamide Salau, better picking better voice. Till we come your way next time, do stay safe.